Welcome to my new video series. I'm Alicia, the Ally behind Ally B Designs, and today I'm having a heart-to-heart with one of my favorites, Ginny Krauss. I can't wait to dive into this topic and share all of its goodness with you. Today we're talking about how to build a timeless brand in a trendy market. Hi!
Hello!
Today I'm chatting with Ginny, and I'm going to have her do a little introduction of herself.
Hey guys, I am Ginny Krauss, and I am a brand and marketing strategist for wedding industry creatives, creative entrepreneurs, but I really specialize in the wedding industry. And I'm also the co-founder and co-creator of Wedding Business Bosses and the Wedding Business Academy.
One of the only groups that I still go to all the time.
Oh, thank you. And we love having you. So you are always such a wealth of knowledge and such a giving person in our group. So we really, really appreciate it.
I try when I actually get out of my shell.
Hey, I hear you.
Okay, so today we're just going to jump through a few different questions and chat about some of the hot topics. The first question up is, what is your number one tip for creating a timeless brand?
Ooh, okay. So creating a timeless brand, I really feel like it's about creating true connection. I feel like we are all craving like a real connection, almost like the raw, the unedited connection. And I feel like to have a brand that's long-term, it really needs to be infused with you. I really like to help people, creative entrepreneurs, with their personal brands specifically. I have a signature program called The Heart of Your Brand. So I really help people in that area of just figuring out like the truth of who they are as an individual. So that way we can find the ways that we can bring that out in various aspects of your brand to help create that true connection. Another way is to find the commonalities between yourself and your clients. How can you relate to your clients? What pieces of you can you put out into the world that your clients can really resonate with?
You stole my answer exactly, because mine is the personal connection. Like really knowing where it all lies with you and how your values connect with your dream clients.
Absolutely.
I mean, you don't just want to sell them your service. Obviously, your service is built off of what you love and who you are. So you need to sell that side of you instead of putting out some random crap.
Yeah, and it's really hard to work with clients that don't align with your values. You know, we've all been there. I know you've been there, Ally, and I know that we were just talking before we started our recording about working with the wrong clients and how much we learn from that. Mm-hmm. And it really comes down to does our clients value the same thing that we value? And when you come to a place where you find those clients where you do have those common values, it's like magical. I mean, Ally and I, you know, we've worked together before and we clicked, you know, right off the bat. And it's because we shared the same values.
Yep. Okay. So with that, how is your personal brand timeless to you?
That's a really good question. Oh, put me on the spot about my own brand.
Right.
So I built my brand around my two favorite things. And a lot of people may say these two things are so different that they don't go together, but I disagree. Strategy and heart. Because I feel like a lot of people say, you know, being super strategic is like, you know, being overly analytical, and being heart is just, you know, being authentic and kind of being loosely you. But I really love to find ways to infuse those two things, because I do feel that you can have a heartfelt brand and have a strategic brand. And I feel like every business owner actually needs both components to truly reach their ideal clients. Right. So I really try to show off my business values in my brand, but I also really infuse my heart as far as my personal side, my life as a mom, my life as an expat. For those of you that don't know, I'm an American and I live in Germany. So I go through a lot of different things that a lot of people may not know about, but it could be reasons why people resonate with me as well. So I try to tune into that and put that into my branding. But also, speaking of the brand elements directly, I do feel like my brand elements describe me as a person versus being trendy, for example. Yeah.
That's my example is based off of the elements for me because I'm a designer, so I like the visual side more.
Right.
I still love the strategy, but I build all of my brands with heart, and I learned the tough way of not doing that by being the trend jumper before. I just kept wanting to jump. Like I never wanted to stick with something because it wasn't who I was. So when I finally sat down and like did the work with that, in my current branding and my branding before, I'm sure you saw that I really love like beautiful peonies and florals. And the personal connection for me is that my grandma had peony bushes, and I loved to go cut them and make bouquets and put them on a table. Like,
oh, I love that.
Such a big part of my childhood that, I mean, that's something that will always be timeless to me. The other part is motherhood. So I have obviously my pictures with Beckett. He's a part of my brand no matter what. He's a part of me. And I am a heart feeler. I wear my heart on my sleeve. Sometimes it's a fault because I'm too feely. And that's where the little heart in the bee came from. And because I'm much more heart driven than profit.
Girl, we are like so much more connected and in common than I ever knew. So
yeah, when you were talking, I'm like, oh.
I agree 100%. And that's something that I used to think it was a weakness, but I have really grown and learned that it's actually my strength. And that's why I built my business around helping people put the heart in their own business, because I used to almost be ashamed of it. Isn't that weird? I used to be ashamed that I wore my heart on my sleeve. Like, oh, you're too emotional, or you're taking it too personal. And it's like, you know what? There's nothing wrong with that. There's actually nothing wrong with having a heart.
Having my feelings hurt,
yeah,
because I am so feely, was probably like the way that I learned business the most.
yeah.
And it's not that I ever wanted, I mean, I don't want to hurt people's feelings. I don't want them to hurt mine, but the truth is that's how I grow.
Right.
I'm always going to feel deeper than some others. I am a crier.
Me too. Like, I'll be surprised if we don't cry before we get through these questions.
It has happened.
Yeah.
How do you help your clients to stop jumping from trend to trend and having shiny object syndrome?
Oh, it's so hard as a brand strategist.
I also like to call it squirrel.
Yes, because when it comes with branding, a lot of people, it's a big undertaking unless you're in, and I am not a designer. So a lot of people that they know they need a new brand, but they don't know where to start and how to explain things. And I really help take my clients on a journey of sorts. I know it might sound a little woo-woo, but I promise there's so much strategy into it. I swear, people. But just really asking key questions, which I'm actually going to give as a couple takeaways at the end of this, so I won't spill them now. But really asking yourself key questions about your business and letting those sit with yourself as to those reflections is, why am I here? Why am I doing this? I won't spill the rest of the questions, but it's more about what we can draw out of the client versus the fact that geometric lines and gold foil is the thing right now, or that for every wedding planner, blush and gold is it. But it's like, do you want a blush and gold brand? Because I want you to walk to your closet right now. Is there blush and gold in there? No, then you're not having a blush and gold brand. I'm sorry. Like, I'm not going to allow it because you think it's trendy and that's the thing that needs to happen. So really, I like to build brands around humans and the actual people that are building their businesses. So that way they're attracting the right people, and it's not just some big trend thing, because guess what? You're just going to want me to build you a new brand in 2 years time. So
if 2 years.
Yeah. If like 6 months. Yeah.
Yeah. I do the same thing, especially on the design side. Like when they make their inspiration or their mood board, and then I have the questionnaire that digs deep, and then they, like I said before, like they'll put down like palm trees and light pink and they're a Southern belle. And I'm like, where did that come from?
Right.
So I play the toddler game is what I call it. Like, why? What is your connection to that? Why are you putting that? Where is this even coming from? Is it just because you saw it from somebody else? Like,
they probably saw it in Target.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or a pretty Instagram feed that, they don't even know the person, but they came across the picture. Like,
right.
There's so many things that, I really try to do the why, which drives me crazy. I'm a mom to a toddler.
Right.
But, mine is definitely that. Asking the why.
And it's important. And, it might seem tedious in the process, but I'm sure your clients feel the same at the end of it. I'm sure they come back and they say, Alicia, I'm so glad that you asked me why 10,000 times, because now we've actually built a brand that makes sense and actually feels right for me, versus, do you still want to go back and get those palm trees and pink? Or do you want what we've built? And I've actually asked a client that. I'm like, how are you feeling now? Now, remember you originally asked me for this. Do you still want that original thing? No.
My last client, and I love her to pieces. It was so funny. She hated the name of her business. So we went through the work, and she'd kind of been working with another coach, so she had done this authentic stuff, but she just still didn't know who she was because she didn't like the name. She didn't feel any connection to it. So we played the why game with naming her business.
Right. Yeah.
So,
and it has to be done.
Well, and that's when we finally got to it and all of the meaning behind it. She's like, thank you so much. I'm sure I annoyed the crap out of you. And I'm like, no, I love your messages.
Yeah. But you know what? As people like us that build brands, if you're not connected to your business name, you really you can't build a heartfelt brand behind it, because there is no connection. And I'm going through it with 2 of my clients right now that I've helped rename their businesses, because we had to get a name that actually meant something in order to build a brand that was going to connect with their ideal clients.
Yep.
And
honestly, there is no better feeling than when they say oh my God, thank you.
Right.
When you helped somebody work through all that and get to their end dream, there isn't a better feeling.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like, you can wake up and, put on your pants from 10 years ago and they fit, Yeah. That's how a brand should feel.
Exactly.
Yeah. And you still get to eat donuts.
Right. Cookies in my world.
Exactly.
Do you consider yourself a trendsetter or a trend follower?
Oh, I'm going to say neither. I've never been a trendsetter. I've never been the first to jump out in front of a trend. I've never been one to jump on a bandwagon. I just believe in gut instincts. I feel like doing what's right for you, for your journey, and embracing the path that you're currently on, and building your current messaging around that. Things change in all of our lives. We're business owners, we become moms, we go through hardships, we come out of hardships, we have success, we have failure. Owning each of those pieces of your journey and not being afraid to share pieces of those appropriately, when you're ready with your audience or, with those around you, that's where that human element comes in, and people start to really say wow, I connect with you, you know?
Yep. Again, we're the same person, because I'm the same. I don't feel like I'm a trendsetter by any means. Now, when I was in high school, did I like to have the coolest clothes? Sure.
So you probably weren't the first to go out and invent it. Yeah.
I don't know. I really did like this colored skinnies.
Yeah.
That was bad. But
I wore collared skinnies too.
Oh, yeah, see? I've always considered my style or myself as more of a ladylike with a twist. Because I have always loved the classics. Like, I love black and white stripes. I love everything simple and pretty and elegant, but yet fun. So I like to have that little tiny twist in there of a little bit of the trend. But
yeah, no, I really like that.
But I also don't think that I'm like following people either. So
you're you. You're being you.
That's right.
Just do you, boo.
That's right. Okay, the hot button topic. I'm sure everybody has been talking about it or hearing it the last couple weeks. What is your take on the word authentic?
Oh my gosh, this has come up in a couple of groups that I've seen recently. A lot of people hate the word authentic, apparently.
Right. Mm-hmm.
I don't dislike it. But I guess that's part of the business that I'm in and in my world. However, I feel like if you are someone that people consider to be authentic, that you probably don't ever think about being authentic. Like, you're just doing you, that we just talked about. And people are connecting with you and they're realizing it, and there's not really a strategy behind it almost, it just comes naturally. However, I do feel that there are people, and these are where some of my clients fall into, that are authentic and heartfelt human beings, but they become paralyzed when it comes to putting themselves out there, and they need help unlocking that, almost having permission. Like, I'm an outgoing person. It's a little bit easier for me. I'm just going to put you on the spot. I know that it's harder for you, but you are a very authentic person naturally to me. And I feel like, you showing and you've done a really great job of actually showing the world that lately, because I've been, following all your posts and everything.
I can write about it.
Yeah. So I think it really comes down to that is I have a really good BS-meter, I guess. I don't want to cuss on here. But I do feel like I can see someone that's being inauthentic, trying to sell themselves as authentic, versus people who are authentic and maybe just struggle taking that Band-Aid off and just, letting their guard down and releasing it. But then a lot of times once that happens, like, the floodgates just open and then we're ready to roll. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Like, to me, I didn't realize how often I use the word, but that's just because it is so important to me when people build a brand that it has to be authentically them. And you said it earlier, I'm really trying to lean on more of like the connection and connectiveness to your clients and to who you are, and being more that way. But I don't hate the word. And I kind of tried to like stand up for the word in a couple of the groups.
Me too. I was like, hold on here.
But I, just like you said, like, there is a way of being authentically fake. But yeah. And I kind of felt like I was there a little bit last year. Like, I had put out this beautiful website and brand, but it just wasn't the happy, bubbly me. Like, it was just too pretty. So like, I was trying so hard to fit into the square peg in a round hole. Like,
yeah.
Like, I was trying too hard to be somebody that I wasn't, that I was in this funk of like trying to be.
Right.
Like, not when I was. Like, so yeah. I mean,
now you're just more real than ever. Yeah, and I love it. Yeah.
Okay, to wrap it up, we are going to list an actionable takeaway on how to build a timeless brand in a trendy market.
Oh, so it's going to go off everything that we've just talked about. I really like to ask my clients to complete like a full heart of your brand, like assessment, and then I walk them through it. So I'm going to give like 3 of my favorite questions that I ask from that, because I feel like no matter if you're going through a rebrand or you're just a business owner or you're trying to figure out what to post on Instagram tomorrow, these questions can resonate with you. So
we have the same questions.
Maybe. Get out your pen and paper, because questions coming. So 1 is, what is your intention with your brand? what is that message? So the second one is, what is the true message you want to send to your ideal client? And I want you to be real with yourself about that. Not the true message is I want them to hire me. No, why should they hire you? Why are you the best fit for their wedding photographer to plan their wedding? It's important to make sure that your values line up with this couple's values, because you're going to be spending a whole lot of time together on a really important day that no one can take back.
So provide this service. So if you aren't connected or you don't like it, then what's the point?
Exactly. It's not worth it. Like, I know a lot of people say, well, I need to make the money, but you know what? There's so much stress that outweighs the money when it comes to booking the wrong client.
Yep.
Because somebody else was a better fit for them, for example. And the third one is, what is your story? How can you share your human side along with the biz owner side? So a lot of times people are just sharing the behind the scenes of their business or what they're doing, but they're not sharing their life, or they're only sharing their life and they're not sharing that they're a business owner. Or if you're a wedding planner, you're only sharing about your couples. Well, that's great, but who's running this show?
Who are you?
Who are you? I can, all day at Janie and Jack and Sam and Samantha and all these people on your feed. That's beautiful that got married, but this tells me nothing about why I should hire you to plan my wedding, why I should hire you to photograph my wedding, to bake my cake, to make my flowers, to do all of these things.
To bake my cake, that just made me giggle.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, we don't need reasons to bake cake. Let's just be honest. Yeah.
Mine are pretty much the same. Like, I always ask people to sit down and really think about, like, what do I want my brand to be associated with? And this can be like feelings or magazines or celebrities or whatever. And on top of that, how do I want my clients to feel after they've came in contact with my brand? And that's really where I tried to resonate with mine. I wanted people to feel friendly and warm and loved and happy when they came to my website or when they came across my Instagram feed. Like I said, I was trying way too hard earlier to be pretty and polished, and now I want to have fun with it. I want to be who I am and I want to be authentic.
Yeah, but for real though, when you can't have fun with it or be who you are, it paralyzes you to move forward in your business, because then you've taken your voice away.
Yeah.
So when you build a brand that's not you, you have nothing to say to support that brand.
And you spend so much more time like trying to craft the perfect message instead of, if it's already built on who you are, you already know.
Yeah. You're just blubbering. You're just a blubbering mess of all the things that you need to say that your brand already is.
Which happens because, you only get so many characters on Instagram, and I'm constantly like,
yeah, gotta take it back. Yeah. Yeah.
It's a real problem.
Yeah.
Also because I like to write, so.
Yeah, me too. We are so similar.
Well, that is what we have for today. Thank you so much, Jenny, for joining me.
Awesome. Thanks for having me.
And I know it's bedtime there and it's middle of the afternoon here, so.
Yeah, it's okay. My husband's out of town. I had nothing better to do than to chat with you. I was actually so excited about it. I was like, yay, I can hang out with Allie while my husband's out of town. This is great.
We need to do it more.
Exactly.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys. Bye.
Bye.